And Kat,
You are
or not
listening
Kat,
to WBHM
Lynda, we have commercials.
Digital
at,
Broadcasting.
20 past.
The best.
43 past and at the top of the hour. So
And
if you have to
paranormal.
take a break, there's a
Talk
3-minute break,
radio.
then a 2-minute break, and then a 5-minute break.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and we repeat that at the second hour, where at the top of the hour, it's not a big deal because we're done.
Sounds good.
Okay, so... Oh, yeah. Funny thing is, Kat, this is our second anniversary since the first time I interviewed her 2 years ago, almost
Paranormal
to the
Pride.
day.
We will visit only with the best.
I don't know, and it
investigators,
was random
location
that I picked
owners,
this date, these dates to give her, and she
inventors,
picked this one.
authors, mediums, psychics, and enthusiasts.
They can hear us.
Anyone with a love or interest in the paranormal, the supernatural, or the unexplained will be meeting here on Mondays at 8 p.m., 7 Central.
Oops.
Welcome to the Paranormal Pride. I hope everybody's having a fun night. As you can tell, we are too. And my guest tonight is Lynda Quirino. You guys may have seen her in Paranormal Survivor as one of their, as she puts tongue in cheek, she is a paranormal expert. She takes that tongue in cheek. She does not take that very seriously. But you also know that there's many other paranormal experts that they use on that show too. But what was funny about this is that this is my second time interviewing her, and this is an anniversary. This is the second anniversary of that first interview. And just one thing for you guys to know, this is the lovely lady that made my pork chop doll for my pork chop. So, and she worked really hard on making that. So I want to say thank you on air for that beautiful doll that you made for Ruby. And it's in his room. I won't let him play with it yet, of course, but it's in his room on a doll stand so that he can look at it and when he gets older and understand the importance of it. But thank you so much for making that for him.
You are so welcome, and it's such a pleasure to be here again. I can't believe it's the second anniversary, almost to the day.
Oh, yeah. So I just thought that was weird when I went back and I looked at the archives, and it's like, oh, wow, it's almost to the day. That was just very odd to look at that. So I know that you've been really busy with Paranormal Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And also on, is it called Good Morning Georgina?
You know what? It's called Georgina Life. It's a kind of a lifestyle show that's very local, and we do it live 2 days a week, which is kind of daunting when you're on live television. Just a bit.
Do you like it?
I love it. It's fantastic. The people are great. It's something that I volunteer for. And you know what? It's great. We meet some really cool people in our community. And that's probably one of the bonuses of being able to do something like that.
I would think it would be fun. Not the being on TV part, but the meeting the people part.
The meeting the people part is fun because, I get to do things like make cupcakes and taste all kinds of weird things and interview people that do all kinds of neat things. Today we had the Georgina Feral Cat Committee on. So you would have loved it because there were 6 kittens on, and they were just amazing. They were crawling all over the place.
Oh, well, that's kind of funny because 3 of our cats were feral.
Really?
Yep. We pulled one of them out of a trash can, and she just said, "The heck with it. I'm staying with you guys. I can't see anyway." She was sick when we got her, and the other one I caught, she was covered with mud right before Pork Chop was born.
Oh.
And she's here, and we've got, so like I said, 3 of them were feral, and one was a rescue, and the other, well, we got in the divorce of my daughter.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So we love all of our cats, but it must have been a really wild set then.
Yeah, a little bit. But You know what? It was the best thing because they were the cutest. And honestly, I said to my husband, yeah, it's a good thing that Ophelia doesn't like other cats. Otherwise, I would have brought all 6 home today. So
Oh, well, and Ophelia is a rescue as well, isn't she?
she is. I got her from the local shelter. It'll be 2 years in April.
I knew it was coming up. So,
Yeah, she's my sweetheart.
oh, she's a beautiful cat. So, as you can tell, we share. If you're listening out there, you'll know that we share our love of cats. And in your spare time, you make these stuffed animal type collector dolls. Most and let's see, I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's used. What's the name of the business that it is?
Yeah, it's called Love Use and Crafty Critters.
And all the ones I've seen are just beautiful. And
Thank you.
And the materials you use aren't always what you would think that they would be, because it looked like for a pork chop you used like some socks.
Yes.
And other things, jeans from the thrift shop and things like that.
Oh yeah, I repurpose a lot of things, but when I use socks, which I like to use, they're always new, so they've never been put on stinky feet, so no worries there.
Well, I mean, unless you're making Mr. Stinky Feet, I mean,
Yeah,
that
true.
might be.
That could be.
Yeah, because we have a local guy here in Kansas City. He's a children's song guy. His name is Mr. Stinky Feet.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, and then you also do, you set up things for children with children's crafts and stuff.
Yeah, I actually teach an art drop-in class once a month at the local art gallery, and I also do art camp in the summertime. So this summer I'm going to be doing 2 weeks of art camp, which is nice and intensive. It's an actual whole week, and there's normally some sort of a theme. So I'm working on the themes this year, but art is my passion as well as the paranormal. So,
well, it's good to have a passion. And
yes.
so what seasons of Paranormal Survivor were you on?
Well, I believe I was on seasons 3 and 4, and now we are just about to film season 5. So that's kind of exciting. It's a lot of fun doing Paranormal Survivor. You meet some incredible people and hear some incredible stories.
Oh, I know. I've watched a lot of I've watched most of them.
Right.
So Jack Kenna is one of the paranormal experts.
Yes.
And he's just seems to be an amazing guy as well. And for some of you, one of the paranormal experts that they had on in the beginning was Joe Citrone, and a lot of people heard me talk about him in the past. I met him last year.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, while we were doing the filming of a film called The Deep Darkness.
That's
so
neat.
So he actually came back to Atchison, Kansas to film that with us, and because he said the only way I'm coming back is with me, and he did. So I hope to someday have that in the can.
That is very cool. I'd love to see that.
So, I'd love to see it. I just want to get it in the. I just want to get it in the can.
No kidding.
So, I want to see it. So, but yeah, I don't know if Joe's still working on that or not. I haven't seen anything, so we'll find out.
We will find out. I believe that Michelle DeRoche is coming back this season for season 5. She actually doesn't live that far away from me. She lives in Niagara Falls, so not too far.
I've seen her on other television shows as well.
Yes. Yeah.
On My Haunted House, I believe.
Yes.
Let's see, was it
Haunted Case Files, I think, too.
That was it. It was Haunted Case Files. So, yeah. Because I recognize her when I see her. I don't recognize her name, but I recognize her face. So.
Yeah, she's really neat. Her red hair, you cannot miss her red hair.
No, you cannot. So, how many experts do they use? Do you know?
From what I know, they use 3 each season. There was somebody, I believe, named Tammy Taylor. You might remember her.
Yes.
But unfortunately, and this is something I didn't even know, I reached out to her and then found out that she'd passed last year at a very young age. I believe it was a very quick, I don't know what happened, some sort of a sickness, and I was just devastated.
Wasn't she the one of the ones that was a medium?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I thought. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, because she seemed like a very nice person, and I always got a good vibe from her.
Very clear, very well spoken. And I was in shock, actually, absolute shock. So Katie Turner and I are also in touch. She's another one of the paranormal experts. And you're right about the tongue in cheek, because let's face it, you're in the paranormal, you're not really an expert. You might have a little more experience than somebody else, but in terms of expertise, I don't know.
Well, experience counts.
Yeah,
So
I think that's true.
And being able to speak about it in a clear and concise manner, that helps too. But Kat says that her team was on a case that was on Paranormal Survivor called the Voodoo Preacher.
The Voodoo Preacher. Mm-hmm. Which season was that one?
Well, hopefully she'll say. Oh, Paranormal Witness. Oh, what said Survivor in the chat? Oh, okay. Never mind. So, I see it now.
There's just so many out there, Denise. I mean, when you think about it, paranormal shows, they're cropping up like little pimples. There's just so many of them. Kind of kind of like paranormal groups, though. I mean, everywhere you go, there's so many paranormal groups. So, that's just the way it is. But the paranormal shows, there really are so very many of them, and they're all similar, but they have a different kind of vibe.
Yeah, they do. And some of the things that some of them try to recreate the show before it.
Yeah.
And some of them are just blah. From how I see it. I see sometimes I'm watching a show and I go, well, this one ain't going to make it. And the shows that I think are really good, somehow they disappear. Yeah. Like I really liked Ghost in the Hood on the We Network. I know it sounds odd, but I liked watching these people from Compton out there ghost hunting. It seemed like they acted, it was like, hey, these are people just like us out there. Well, not just like us, but they were a little out there. But it was fun watching Ghosts in the Hood. It's just like Ghost Brothers. I watch Ghost Brothers, and I go, they're going to find something that somebody else didn't find.
Right.
It's just, I don't know why, but maybe because they're not taking themselves too seriously.
Yeah, I think that's it too. But I mean, in the U.S., you have shows that we don't get over here, and probably vice versa. But yeah, maybe not, because I think you have a lot more than what we have. But I like to go to YouTube, as my daughter calls it, the cheater station.
Yeah.
And catch some of the stuff that we don't get here. As a matter of fact, I was chatting to my neighbor the other day, and she put the bug in my ear about the fact that I think we got season 1 here of Kindred Spirits.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any other season. I mean, if you really want it, I think you got to go to Netflix or something like that. But we sometimes get maybe 1 season, 1.5 seasons, and then they disappear, which is kind of awful when you think about it. It's not fair.
There are some things about some of the shows that, like I said, that I like, and some things I don't like. I don't like when suddenly a show was one way, and then the beginning of the next season they're doing something completely and utterly different than they were doing before, and suddenly everything is dark and foreboding and bad and demonic. Right. All of a sudden, where before it wasn't, they were looking at bright side, and no, it's not, we've got to help this family.